disconnected.
Hey guys, welcome to Woodzman Adventures. Today I'm going to be installing the taillight and fender eliminator kit from TST. This is of course an LED taillight, smoked. It has integrated turn signals in it, so it will eliminate this whole rear fender mud flap hanging off here, whatever you want to call it, with the turn signals, and this taillight will eliminate all of this. Make a nice sleek look with your license plate under it. With this I'll be installing, of course, the TST license plate light. This here goes above your tag, so it's still, because when you take this off you're going to be losing your license plate light that you have right here from the factory. So this will have your license plate light back on there. It's a nice small LED, fits right on there. This is for the 2017-2018 model, and it comes with an adapter plug here to adapt it and make it work. If you get the 2012, I guess it would be, to 2016, then you wouldn't need that adapter. This is also your license plate holder right here. Goes together. I can show this up close where you can see it a little better. And it also comes with the load bearing resistors, because what you're going to get is when you put this on, you take off any of the incandescent lights front or rear, your motorcycle is going to get what's called a hyper flash, or real fast flash rate. And if you can live with the real fast flash rate, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you don't like it, you can put in these resistors, or as I'm going to do, TST also makes a flasher, the module that will replace the factory one that's right here under the brake reservoir on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that, but in a different video I'm going to do that and the front turn signals from TST in the next video. But for now we'll just go ahead and install the taillight, fender eliminator kit, and the license plate light and get that done. Then we'll work on the front on the next video. So let's go ahead and zoom up on this where you can see what we got. Alright, what this kit includes of course is the taillight, and this is the sleekest looking, coolest looking design taillight I've ever seen. This is the smoked model. You can get the one that's the clear plastic, but this thing looks so cool. You see how the LEDs are recessed up inside there, and it's going to look real nice back there. It'll make this thing look a lot more like a motocross bike instead of a dual sport with that big flap. And of course the TST stuff is plug and play. You check that out. And like, I had a DRC on my 2014, but it wasn't near as well built as this light, and of course it wasn't plug and play. You had to cut and splice wires, which I didn't like. And then here you have the part that will mount on the bike here, and then this bracket here will bolt on this for your license plate light. This is your adapter. If you have the 2017-2018 models, you use this adapter. And of course it comes with screws and stuff to bolt this taillight to it. This here is now this doesn't come with this separate option, but I did go ahead and get this. This is let me take this out of the package. Okay, this is the license plate light. Real tiny, nice LED. It's really cool that TST has their name molded right in the back, embossed in there. Looks real cool with the little sprocket. And this will just slide right down over the license plate. You can either opt to peel this tape off, I would say, or not peel it off and have it stuck. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick it. I mean, it'd just be more solid, so why not? And it comes with a couple of nice little splices here. I'll show you when I get ready to wire it. These are really cool. I'm going to show you on the light also, the back of it. You can see how it has TST on it. Has a nice watertight connection coming out of it. So this thing ought to be good and watertight. And let's go ahead and get going with the install. Alright, starting off here, we'll go ahead and get this license plate off. We'll be using it on of course, the new bracket. So get it off here out of the way. That up. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and remove the seat. And what you have here on this seat is 2 of these Allen bolts, which are actually your pegs that stick out you can connect bungees to strap stuff on here. Just like this. Be careful when you remove it that you don't lose this little shoulder washer that's on here. So take both of them off on both sides. Remove this seat. Set the seat to the side. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with these bolts back here. They're just like the front ones, the 2 in the rear. And then if you can notice here, it's a good thing I'm replacing this because I actually broke this the other day getting on the bike, and I've kicked this, and I'd never had that happen before, but I sure did. I kicked that getting on the bike and cracked this housing and broke it. It actually was hanging off down here. So it's a good thing I got the TST set up to eliminate that problem. Don't lose your shoulder washers. Alright, now what you want to do on these are snapped in by a rubber grommet right here, so you can just kind of hold on to that and push out. Same on this side, hold this in, pop it out, and you can just raise this fender right up off here like that. Set it aside so it don't get scratched up. Okay, now we'll bend back this tab that holds the wires here, because they're all underneath this. Slide this back where we can get to it and unplug all these. They're pretty easy, pretty simple. Just push the little tab here and slide them apart. This one here is the same way. You're going to push this tab back here, pull that apart. Raise up on the tab on these little ones with your fingernail. You could use a little flat screwdriver, work real good on that too. Several actual wires here to unplug. They created quite a mess there. There we go. Get all that unplugged, hold these back out of the way. And what we're going to use here is we're going to use a 10mm socket on these to take out these bolts, and these here is a 12mm socket. We can unbolt this and remove it. I'm going to remove this 12mm bolt. Now when we remove this one, we want to hold on to this tail light assembly just so it don't fall off on the ground whenever you take this bolt here out. And then we can just remove this whole unit just like that. You can see this big old giant unit that we're taking off. It's crazy, and it's actually pretty heavy. So we'll be eliminating all of this. Okay, now we're going to be taking and putting our assembly together here, which pretty much all it takes is 3 screws here that, to bolt this together. These washers here are for mounting it. So what we want to do is, if you'll notice on this thing, if you hold it up right, this bracket here goes and it fits into this like so. Fits right into that like that. And then your other bracket, of course, has the notch in it too. Slide it over the wire and it goes down over the top just like that. So let's go ahead and remove this wire tie out of the way. And what we have here is 3 screws that hold it on. These are Plastite screws. they're actually made for plastic. The threads are a little bit different, so they bite into the plastic and they'll hang on, and you don't have to tighten them super tight, because you're liable to strip them out, because you are making threads into the plastic when you do this. So we'll put our configuration like this. These holes are also slotted, so when you have this mounted on here, you can raise the tail light up and down with this bracket. So we want to put it like this, hold it into place. And basically what you're going to have is this configuration like this right here. With this out, your bracket down, tail light at the top. So just like this. I can hold it here and do it at the same time. And we're going to take one of these screws, start it in here with the Phillips screwdriver. The way these plastite screws work is, I use them actually pretty much daily where I work. We use plastite screws, but you thread these in. You don't have to extremely tighten them, because they're made to bite into plastic. So you'll tighten them in snug, adjust the bracket where you like it, and tighten them in where it's just snug, and then give them about a quarter turn. I'll leave these a little bit loose, and I'm going to adjust this bracket where my light is down. You can set it where your bracket's up, down, your light would be up, or vice versa. Just snug them up and give them a good tighten without stripping them out. Like so. Okay, now we're ready to put this on. Okay, we'll put our wires about like that in there, and we will put our washers on here. These are the supplied stainless steel washers that come with it. And these are the 12mm bolts that you took out of this back part. You won't be using the 10mm that you took out up here. So you can either stick those two bolts back in those holes so you don't lose them, or stow them away somewhere for later if you need them back. Tighten these down, and we'll torque these with a torque wrench. Okay, now what I've done, I've took my torque wrench, set it to 18 foot-pounds to tighten these two 12mm bolts, and it won't take much for 18 foot-pounds like that. We're good. Alright, now we're going to connect our wires, and you'll need, for the 2017 and up models of the CRF250L and the Rally, this adapter that they make. So we'll go ahead and plug this adapter in, and as you can see, these plugs, you can't really get it wrong because they just plug into one spot. And we'll go ahead and plug in this. These wires here, or these plugs here, we will not be using on this, so we can just kind of stow them back out of the way here for now. And of course, these, I said you couldn't get it wrong, but I guess you might. These don't match color for color, these wires, so we'll plug them in and then we'll just try it and see. Here in a minute we'll try it and see if our turn signals left and right is oriented right. Otherwise we can just unplug them and swap the two. It's that simple. So we'll go ahead and plug these two in to the orange and blue connector. And then of course we have our adapter on here like so, and we'll just plug it into the TST light like so. These are nice watertight connectors. It's a really first class setup they did on this assembly. Okay, now we'll reach up here and turn the key on so we can see if our turn signals are the right direction. There's our tail light. Check our brake light. Extremely bright brake light. Okay, we'll turn our turn signal on right. Hey, I got lucky and got it right the first time. Turn on the left. Looks good. So now we can go ahead and fasten all our wires up. There's one more thing I want to mention. This here is of course, the turn signal on the hyper flash is what they call it. And it's because you've taken off the incandescent lights off the rear and added LEDs, which is a low current draw, so it kind of wigs that flasher out that comes with it. It's made for that amperage draw, the front and rear turn signals. So what you can do is you can put on those resistors that come with this kit, and that will eliminate it, and there's instructions on how to do it. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the TST flasher module and put on here, because I'm also installing in the next video the front turn signals. So I'll show you that in the next video. But if you like this hyper flash, it's fine. You can leave it that way. It won't hurt things. Just flashing a lot faster. If you notice too that I actually did not realize that these lights are, it's red for your taillights, and this half and half, I just thought it flashed the half red. But this is actually amber LEDs here for your turn signal. So that's really cool. Of course, then when you hit your brake, they're bright red. Really cool. It lights up a lot more LEDs. So let's go ahead and get our wires tidied up. Alright, I want to make sure all these are down inside here. Kind of fold this up so all of this should, I'm hoping, all this will fit inside here. Get it just right. Slide it up here where it goes. Like so. Make sure it's down under this mount. We'll take our tab and bend back over that. Nice and neat, just like factory. How cool is that? TST did an awesome job on this. Now I'm going to go ahead and install my license plate light and put it back together. Alright, this is the LED license plate light, which is low profile. Really cool. I've actually never even seen one of these before or anything like this, so this is a really cool addition to make everything a nice, neat, fit finish. And what this does is just going to fit over your license plate like that. Now some people may opt to not even stick this on with the double-sided tape here, but I am going to stick it on just to make it more solid. When I bolt it on, it'll be permanent. I don't plan on changing my tags or anything, so why not? So let's peel this off. Make sure your back of this is clean. Okay, now all you need to do is center it on your license plate. Get it where it's looks like it's centered. You could measure it and mark it and make it absolutely perfect if you wanted, but this is going to be awful close, I believe. And just like that, we need to undo this, of course, because we're going to route the wire up through here. Alright, I'm going to take my license plate right here, take this wire and just route it right up through here. There's a whole kind of a place here in this, an indention you can see, to just run your wire right through there and bring it out up top. You can get a hold of it with your fingers. Bring it out up the top, then we can go ahead and get it routed where it's tucked in there neat and it's not going to be pinched by anything. Then we can go ahead and put our license plate bolts back in here. Make sure you have centered your license plate on the bracket. And we'll go up here and wire it in. Alright, so what we're going to do is I pulled this back out of here so we can get to the wires exposed, and what we're going to be using here is the black and the blue wire out of this. And what we're going to want to do is we need to cut this a little bit off. I mean, they give you way plenty. I'm assuming that's because this license plate light is made to work on several different bikes. So we'll go ahead and make sure we got plenty of room here to work with. Snip this off. And then we need to just split it in the middle. And we can just peel this back like so, and we should be able to expose that loose right there, expose the wires inside, which is a red and a black wire. We go ahead and cut this excess sheathing off here that we don't need. And then we want to go ahead and strip these wires back a little bit. You can use strippers, or I'm bad about using just my little side cutters to go ahead and strip them with on something that simple. Okay, now TST has supplied these nice little connectors here to splice these into the wires. And what they do is you spin this big part off here at the end, and this is, you can see this is forked, it's split, and then inside here we have a pin that will pierce the wire when we tighten it down. So we'll go ahead and do this on the black wire. Slide it up over the black wire like that so it's through it, and then we'll take this and run it down, and it will pierce right through that sheathing on there on the wire and pierce in there and make connection with the black wire. We'll do the same thing on the blue. Now you might want to, like I always do, and so you don't bulk up when you're trying to shove all your wires in there, just space these offset a little bit. Don't take much, just so they're not on top of each other. Do the same thing, run it down the blue wire, pierce through, like so. Now we back this out, both of these, not too far so they don't fall off. And then we're going to take our wires right here on the black wire. Of course, we're going to go to the black wire on here. So we're going to twist this so it goes in nice and smooth, and you get all the wires in there making connection. Push it down inside here. Let's back this out just there more so it goes in good. Like so. And then tighten this down. That's a nice good connection right there. Spin this one here too. Twist it up. And the red, of course, is going to go to your blue wire. Push that in there. Tighten that down nice and snug. Now we got a good clean connection. So we can put all our wires back in here, just like it come out. And bend our tab over to hold that down nice and neat. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and install the plastics, the fender and the seat and everything, in just the reverse order that I took them off. Alright, there is what the license plate looks like when it's lit up. Looks real good. I'll be able to see that good at night. Alright guys, thanks for watching Woodzman Adventures. That's the TST taillight eliminator kit. It's a taillight fender eliminator kit and the low profile license plate light. I'll be doing the turn signals and the flasher relay next, but I'll show you a before and after picture here. It's amazing how much better this looks without that. But I'll show you before and after, and you can see the difference. Thank you all for watching Woodzman Adventures. Please click the thumbs up on this video, subscribe. Stay tuned for lots more CRF250L mods and stuff coming up and rides. So catch y'all on the next one. Ride on.